Hey Mel, hi Jackie, it's Jim Haney. I thought I'd record this for you so you could see, hey, what I look like, I suppose, and also my thoughts. I've been thinking about the brief, which thank you was very good. I can't find a speaker that can handle the particular intergenerational situation. There were a few around when it was popular. Now it tends to be a little passe, and what you get are people who come at it from one angle or another. What I'd suggest we look at is still going ahead and having me do the session. And I tell you why I say that. I think I can come at it from an angle which is going to be more helpful to you. And by that, I mean this, that I would start off the 30 minutes talking about the fact that no matter who the employee is within the company, whether they're new employees or existing employees, that the fundamentals of the business and the fundamentals that need to be followed, and there's only about 5 of them, the fundamentals to make the business successful and to make the individual successful really have not changed over the years. We have changed the approach and the media approach to what is now called the intergenerational, from boom to zoom and everyone in between it. And one of the fears that the older employees have is that everything has changed. They don't have to come on time, they don't have to follow rules, they somehow get an easier ride. And that is not true. I interact with a lot of companies, a number of companies that talk to me about the problems of the organization have. Very few of them are intergenerational. Mostly, they're the inability to get everybody to understand the goals of the organization. Now, what has changed, though, over the years is that, say, somebody of my generation, when I first joined a company, the manager said, jump, and you asked how high on the way up. I mean, that's how it was. It was do as you're told. And you were given the goals and you didn't have room for your own. Now that has changed, but it's changed for all of us. So if you're a manager in an organizational now, or if you're an employee in an organization now, you simply need to have a different approach to all of your employees, in all of your fellow workers, if you like, or all of your team. Do you need to understand the difference now to what it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 15? Of course. And that's where the real courses come in. So if I were approaching it, I would be approaching it from the angle of what has changed. And the answer is nothing. Nothing has changed. There were always younger people joining an organization. There were always older people in the organization that stood in the way of progress. They was my way or the highway. That's got to change, but it doesn't change because of intergenerational. And we can have some fun with that. We can talk about the fact that there are generations or so-called generations, and we can talk about the qualities of each of them. I can handle that. And I can handle it from the aspect of somebody who has been around organizations for a very long time. I was the CEO of Drake Personnel, so I can see the differences now and what they might have been before. We were the first organization in New Zealand, for example, to put a female sales rep into a company. It was almost impossible to get a female sales rep even interviewed. So I've been there and I've got some anecdotes, if you like, and I can keep it humorous. That's the best I can offer you. I do have speakers that toy with the idea of intergenerational, but they're not what I believe is what you're looking for. You may be able to find a training organization that talks specifically about intergenerational, and in which case I'd be happy for you to explore that. Incidentally, I just noticed that this Zoom or this session I'm doing, the shadows are wrong, but don't worry about that. If we're going to do a Zoom, then I will fix that with what I normally do for a Zoom. So I will say goodbye to you now, and then we'll maybe catch up. Mel, if you can drop me an email and let me know what you think. Jackie, I'd be glad to speak to you or Mel on this subject. I just want to make sure we get it right. I've only got 30 minutes with questions and also, of course, being on Zoom. Now, having said that, we've just heard today that there's an opening up of the numbers. I don't know whether that's going to change your approach or not, or whether you're going to go to a live lunch, but I'm sure you'll tell me. Okay, goodbye.